Well, here it is, Megaman Unlimited.
Why is this not centered? What am I, a caveman?
There we go.
There it goes.
Oh, wow.
So, the question is, easy or original difficulty?
You know, ShadowRock told me about that at the start of this day. And I can't respond to that the way I want to, because we're streaming now.
Essentially, the original difficulty is more difficult than your average Mega Man game. So there might be a lot of deaths and restarting, so you might not be able to showcase more content. I don't think you will be able to beat the game in an hour if it's your first time.
Well, I mean, we haven't beaten any of the games so far.
Yeah.
The thing is that if you play on easy, you don't unlock the secret character, but you have to beat the game.
Yeah, you don't
on
unlock
normal.
file mode. I do know
You,
about the secret character.
Oh, there's no
Fine.
vid on the YouTube thing. That's sad.
Joshua Clayton asks how I came up with the Robot Master and level design. Well, the Robot Masters are based on a bunch of ideas from when I was a kid, and some ideas that I got, more recently. And so I just redesigned them because my old drawings were pretty bad.
That's pretty wholesome, though.
For the stages, it's just, I thought up some enemies, and usually you think about enemies and how you're gonna influence the level itself, and then you design the stage based on that. So you picked easy.
Yeah. Although insta-death mode was actually pretty enticing.
Alright, we're going for Mailman first.
No charge.
Patrick Smith asks, MegaPhilX, who would you say is easier to take on first, Glueman or Nailman?
Okay, so analog works. D-pad, not so much. This is gonna be weird.
Did you tried to change the controls?
Tried.
But that's the thing, the option file that you placed in the folder should have everything already done. See those platforms? They only appear on easy mode. The gray little blocks with the three
Yeah.
lines, these things, they're only there on easy. It's kind of like Mega Man 10. So who is is easier to fight first? I'd say Nailman is easier because his stage is less difficult. So yeah, Nailman first, I'd say.
So you designed this game to be really hard. How would you go about the difficulty?
That's the thing about the difficulty. I wanted to make it difficult, and I thought that people would be fine with that. Boy, was I surprised.
It's usually how it goes. It's hard to please both camps, right?
I thought that people would be fine with the challenging game, and I wanted the stage to be longer, like the Game Boy games.
Oh, yeah.
So that there's just the game has more content. It lasts for longer than the usual game.
Kind of what Mega Man 11 is doing. Making longer
Yeah.
stages.
Except Mega Man 11 has more checkpoints. So
Yeah, it has the extra one, I believe.
yeah, it kind of makes up for the lack of a third Wily stage because of its length.
So yeah, guys, if you have any questions for MegaPhilX, now's the time to ask.
I know someone asked what software we've used. Basically, it's one of my colleagues, Gabriel, who I'd already like started making some engine for a strategy game, and he started from that and modified it to make the game. It's basically made with C++ code and Visual Studio. And yeah, that's it. He coded a little level editor for me to place my enemies, and yeah, that's it.
Let's see.
And I understand the history behind Hammerman was the fact that you wanted a Hammerman.
Oh, yeah. That was another idea when I had the kid, and originally I put him like in the Robot Master lineup. But then I was like, oh, Hammerman, I don't really know what he's gonna do. And Hammerman, Nailman is kind of redundant. So I said like, I'm just gonna make him a mini boss, and then I came up with Comet Woman to replace him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, someone asked what was my first Megaman game. My first Megaman game was probably Megaman 2, and I hated it.
Don't blame you.
That's weird because the first game that really got me into Megaman was Megaman 4. That's the one that drove me nuts, basically.
Oh, yes.
That's the one that made me start drawing and really get crazy about Megaman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because at first Megaman 2, I wasn't good because at that time I didn't have a NES. I was like renting the console and I sucked as a player. So I could only beat Flashman, and I thought his weapon sucked.
It's a bit situational, yeah.
So after all this effort, I beat Flashman, and then what happens? I make little stars on the screen, and that's it. Doesn't do anything, drains in one shot. I'm like, what the hell is this? Then, I tried Megaman 3. Again, didn't really do it for me, but 4, boy. Somebody asked another question.
No.
My favorite Robot Master from the game. I don't know, what are your favorites, guys? I don't want to take... Well, you haven't seen them all, right? Yet.
Favorite game, or...
I mean, favorite Robot Master from the game.
Oh, shoot, I don't think I've seen them all yet. But... I guess when we get back to the stage select, I'll take a look.
For me,
yeah, I'll just look it up.
Wow, I think I'm gonna wait for the stage select too.
Well, there you have it.
Any advice for those into game development? Wow. That's kind of hard.
Yeah,
I'd say like doing anything completely original is very difficult, especially to keep the motivation. Like Megaman, it's easy because everyone likes Megaman already.
that's true.
So it's easy to get a reaction from people, but doing something original by yourself, it's kind of hard. You have to like convince people that your idea is great, that they should work with you, so that's hard. But if you want to get into game making, I'd suggest start doing things simple with a Game Maker or Unity or an already robust engine, in which you don't necessarily need to know a lot about programming to do it. But yeah, start things simple. That's an advice I could give.
That's some good advice, actually. Thank you.
Like, Game Maker is a good place to start. I mean, maybe you can't do everything you want, but at least you can start doing something from function. How did I come up with Yokuman? Actually, Yokuman was not my idea. It was StarSim Universe's idea. And I simply designed the character design and the stage itself. Like, I designed everything in the stage and the boss fight, but the idea was from StarSim's universe. His idea was to have a robot master that controls the disappearing blocks.
Yeah, I think I've talked to StarSims before, and if I remember correctly, he really likes Yoku blocks.
He's probably in the minority.
I would agree with that.
I had the perfect joke, but it's not perfect.
Oh, Nailman is a bit of a jerk at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
What did I think of Megaman 11 when it was announced? I was pretty damn excited.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hypest moments in my gaming fandom.
Yeah, usually I'm very cynical about any trailer announcements at E3 and all that stuff. I'm all like the Final Fantasy VII remake, for example. I'm like totally skeptical. But when I saw the trailer for Mega Man 11, I really was screaming like a schoolgirl.
I know. People that watched our channel knows my reaction to this last. I was screaming with TG. It was great. It's one of my favorite gaming moments now.
I was at work when I saw the trailer, when it was streamed. I was discussing something work related with someone, and I had like YouTube playing in the background with the Capcom stream. And I was watching from the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? That's new!
I know, right?
And I just got all excited.
That trailer, that trailer just leading up to 11. Like, oh, there's Megaman 9, 10.
I was like, oh, that's gonna be some an anniversary thing I don't care about. And it's like, oh my god, that's a new game!
Was it? Yeah, he beams down. It's like, whoa, new graphics.
And that's the...
I know. Music, though. That really sold it, too. Oh, man.
Did you plan Mega Man X and Mega Man Unlimited? The idea about Unlimited story was to incorporate the bridge between the classic and the X series. But I don't want to give any more spoilers if you haven't played the game.
Yeah, I love to talk about it, but if you haven't played the game, say experience it for yourself. It's quite a treat.
I want here for the weapon get screen. I wanted to do something like Mega Man 3, where they have like Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 3 in the background.
Yeah.
Ryder's asking if it ever went through any major plot changes.
What?
Did the game go through any major plot changes throughout development?
Not really. I had an idea of what to do with the story, but I didn't have all the details, so I discussed it with one of my best friends, and he kind of helped me flesh things out a little bit. Like what exactly will happen. I had an idea, but like the story is more like it's pretty easy to do compared to the meat of the game. So yeah, the Robot Masters. I'd say Jetman, Yo-Yo Man is pretty high on my list. I love Yo-Yo Man. I like how crazy he looks.
Oh yeah, this little Yo-Yo Man. He does cool.
What do you think of the era when Capcom was releasing new Mega Man games all the time? Like pre-2010. Yeah, I liked it. I was a bit sick of the Battle Network games, to be honest, at that time. I wanted more of the classic series and the X series, and they kept doing these spin-offs that I didn't. Well, I ended up liking them anyway, but back then I was kind of sick of Battle Network, and then they do Star Force, which is just more Battle Network.
Yeah, they just kept going with it.
So I was kind of disappointed in that because I was expecting something different.
I do wonder what they're gonna do if they ever return to the RPGs.
So don't touch the nitro. You die instantly.
Oof. Oh, look at this nice scorpion guy.
That sprite changed actually. It didn't look like that at first. Then I redid it because I thought it looked ugly.
It looks pretty nice now. Big ol' eyes.
Yeah, Bolt Moss X says he's been excited about Megaman 11, but he was excited about the Legacy Collection for X, and yeah, I'd say I'm more of an X fan.
Same here.
But for some reason, I never get tired of the classic series. I mean, look at me, I've spent years working on this game and I'm still not sick of Megaman, so...
Yeah.
You know what I would fix now? I would make Rush spawn closer to you. After playing Megaman 11. They really improved Rush in that game.
Yeah, I love how they just gave him a dedicated button. It made things so much more streamlined.
I like that he has his own button. Patrick Smith asks if you could make a sequel to Unlimited, would you? Well... in my spare time, I'm making more Robot Masters and more stages. I have 6 stages made now with their bosses, with their weapons done, but I want to wait until I have at least the 8 Robot Masters done to announce anything. Because I'm doing this like every lunchtime at work, I work a little bit on it. And I do everything myself, so it takes forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have 6 Robot Masters almost done. Like 5 are done. The 6th one is not completely done yet, but I'm having fun working on this, so it's progressing slowly but surely. But I don't really know what the rest of the game's gonna be yet. I don't know the story, I don't know the weaknesses. Like I have the weapons in mind, but I have no weakness yet, so if you fight the bosses, everything does like 1 damage.
Yeah. Something interesting I thought was that the Megaman 11 developer said that when they're thinking about Robot Masters, they think about how they work in tandem with each other. Like this guy's with this guy, doesn't make sense and stuff. Did you ever think about that with Megaman 11?
Well, what I like about 11 is that they go back to the basics. Like they don't make some weird weaknesses. Like it makes sense that Fuse Man is weak to Bounce Man's weapon.
Ow.
Because rubber doesn't conduct electricity, and But yeah. So, but for me, the weaknesses, it's mostly if the gameplay makes sense.
Right.
Like, for example, well, no, that's not a good example. You've not made it to Try Nitro Man yet, but I don't know. Do you know what he does already?
If I do, it's been a minute.
Well, anyway, it's just that I try to make sure that the weapon is fun to use with the weakness, basically.
That makes sense, yeah.
You can scroll down and respawn the platforms if you want. And you have to shoot the correct one to make a path.
I see.
But you're cheesing it right now.
You don't tell me how to live my life.
But yeah, the idea is to have like kind of a puzzle, like shoot the right platform.
I'm seeing some interesting enemies here, like this puffed up bird and this weird looking frog guy.
It's like these enemies in Mega Man 5 for the Game Boy. They explode when you shoot them.
Oh yeah, I was just playing Megaman 5.
Yeah, I saw.
I did terrible.
But yeah, getting back to the weaknesses, I'm trying to find an example of it. Like, for example, when you shoot the Tri-Nitro Man's weapon, it's like a stream of nitro, and it just ignores any shield. So it goes right through Nail Man's shield. That's the idea. You know, it's not necessarily because nitro in real life would be the weakness of nails. It's just because it's fun to use against the boss. That's basically it.
That's a good way to go about it too. Let's see here.
And what I liked about some of the weaknesses in the series is that you kind of don't really expect the weakness sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
See, you had these green platforms and that were helping you in that part, so you don't fall to your death. That's
Also,
because you're playing on easy.
Don't worry, I feel like a loser.
It's okay. Don't shoot his vial in his head.
Shoot the vial?
Don't shoot it.
Don't charge shot the vial.
I was actually aware of that already.
So
I
you
remember
see
seeing
with
that, and
this
that's
guy-
awesome. I love that.
So with this guy, like if you hit his nitro vial, he's gonna self-destruct and kill you. But if you use Rainbow Man's weapon, which is like light, it doesn't break the vial, so it's a weakness to use against it.
Yeah, there's also a nice touch before this room. The Dr. Wily symbol was destroyed.
Yeah, that's like everything you did is all destroyed by the robot rebellion. they've tried all kinds of spins on the Wily thing, like in Mega Man 9 it's the Dr. Light symbol you see on the boss room.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Dr. Cossack, Mr. X.
All those guys. We have another question for you. Eric asked, Bill, if there was a Mega Man X9 in the works, what would you expect of it, as well as Mega Man 11 DLC if Capcom does plan the work?
I would, well, Mega Man X9, I would like it to not be in the SNES style first. I'd like it to be like Mega Man 11 with beautiful graphics.
I agree. If they had to make it retro, I would say at least make it more like X4. But I prefer new graphics.
Yeah, well, for me as well. But I would like something like Mega Man 11, but with more of like anime cutscene type of deal. Or maybe do the cutscenes like in Guilty Gear Zerd Sign, you know, the fighting game?
Yeah.
The cutscenes are 3D, but they look just like an anime. That would be amazing. But for the game itself, personally, I would like it to focus more on X than Zero. But that's just because I'm an X purist.
I don't think Hero here is gonna disagree with you on that.
You prefer Zero?
No, I have a huge disdain for Zero.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like the Zero series that much, because they don't really care about X. And the ZX is the same, ZX series is the same. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna be able to play as X? Well, nope, you play as Zero.
Yeah, they tease you a little bit with Model X.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, cool! And then they just...
Oh yeah, they're like, oh, now you get to play Zero. But why? I want to play as X.
And then it's just like playing the Zero series, and I'm like, no!
And it's like, if you want Model X back, you have to beat the game with both characters, at least normal. So stupid.
But that's one thing about X6. I was happy because I was expecting it to be like all about X for once, but then they bring back Zero.
Yeah. It really is a shame as the X series went on, they just stopped focusing on X so much.
It's because Zero is so popular.
Yeah, Zero gets the fangirls.
They think the fans will be pissed if they don't include him.
That's a ceiling.
Like, I don't mind them as playable characters, but as far as the lore and the plot and everything, like, they just started focusing on Zero and then Axel a lot more than X.
I like Zero's story, especially in X4. It was really fun.
Had purpose, and then they threw away that purpose.
Yeah, they sure did.
They didn't even explore the nightmares. They're just like, I'm having these nightmares, help.
Help me.
I remember my mind being blown away when I saw the cutscene where he fights Sigma. The past of Zero.
Oh right, yeah.
The fight against Sigma, that I was floored when I saw that.
I remember when they were talking about making a live-action version of that scene. That was something.
Like that Aladdin movie.
Oh dear.
Actually, I heard it wasn't that bad. It wasn't great either.
I've heard mixed things about it.
I want to stay as far away from it as possible.
I'm sure curiosity will get the better of me one day.
My family's already asking if I want to see it.
That's the thing, like, people complain about a lot of movies, but then they go see it anyway, so, like, so you're giving them money, so there you go, they're gonna make more.
The only movie I've wanted to see lately is Detective Pikachu, and I don't regret it at all. It was a pretty good movie, I would say.
I'm not much of a Pokemon fan, so I don't know, maybe I'll show it to my daughter at some point.
Yeah, like, if you're a Pokemon fan especially, you'll enjoy it. Let's see if we got another question here.
Where's that red Maverick that wiped up Gamma's unit? He's inside the door. You may leave now. I'll take care of this personally. By yourself, Commander? I don't want any more of my people to be sacrificed.
Awesome.
Master Asia, undefeated of the East.
Oh, Train asks, Phil, what do you think about the game? Advent.
What? Sorry, you cut off. I didn't get what you said.
Oh, what do you think of the gameplay of Megaman EX Advent?
I liked it, actually. I like that you can actually transform into the Mavericks. That was pretty fun. I know that people don't like this game for some reason, but I liked it. I just didn't play it. It's like the Zero series. I played it once, then I didn't really replay it. But I like being able to transform. Like for once, Axel was able to do something about.
If there's any chance you could tell them the title of your new Mega Man fan game?
Oh, I have no idea. That's the.
You already took Unlimited. What else is next?
I have no idea yet. That's the kind of thing I will determine like before I announce it. If I have something, I don't know. I have no idea. I try not to think about this because, you know, that's the thing, is that I'm not really a programmer. So all of the stuff I'm doing, all the enemies I'm adding, all the gimmicks I'm doing, every time I do a new one, if it's a little bit too complicated, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to. It's like I kind of challenge myself with some of these things. I try to learn programming, but you know, sometimes I get stuck on something. So that's why I'm not completely sure of what I can and can't do. So as for a title, that's it's gonna be one of the last things I do.
Mega Man Unlimited 2. Or plus 2.
Maybe who knows?
There's also the story part, which I don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, that would probably be something good to figure out before a title.
Yeah, the story is easy because, you know, the most difficult part is the gameplay.
Yeah.
Mega Man Unlimited Alpha. Mega Man Unlimited Yo Mega Man Infinity. Don't die.
Fine, I'll use your loser block. I accept my fate.
In the code, it's called an easy block.
You say accept your fate, they just push you to the door.
Like easy. The letters easy block.
That's not his weakness.
No, I guess not.
What's his weakness actually?
I have it right here. It's
Yep.
Yo-Yo Man. So it would be Jet Missile.
Oh yeah.
Why is a yo-yo weak to a missile? Granted, I guess everything would be weak to a missile.
I'd suggest using any tank.
Oh, I see you got the smaller E-tanks. Here you get 4 of them.
Yeah, that's from the Game Boy games.
So I guess you wanted to include a lot of things from Game Boy games, huh?
R. Clover Z asks why the name Unlimited for the title. Well, it's related to the story and its ending. Let's say that it has something to do with being a variable and having endless potential.
I get it. I feel smart.
Which is the best 8-bit Mega Man game? Huh. Do you consider 9 and 10 to be 8-bit? Or even Unlimited to be 8-bit? For me, it's 4, personally, that I like the best out of the 6 first 6.
Awesome.
Yo-yo
cutter. So is Tango in this game?
No.
Do you plan to include Tango at some point?
Not really.
Oh, I thought
I don't know. Well, it would be a nice challenge to try and make him more relevant or useful.
Yeah, not even the Mega Man developers are doing a good job of that.
Like, what could he do that is...
That the other ones already do.
Like, I think usually he's like a screen clearer. And here is the fabled Rainbow Man stage that everyone hates.
I see why.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is one of the stages I do know about.
Normally the beams kill you in one hit, but on easy they just take half your health.
Not that one.
Oh jeez. Quick Man Redux on steroids.
So yeah, like this is a huge quick man thing. If I could, I would redo some of these segments. I tried my best to... Like, at first, there were some sections that were kind of unfair compared to what they are now.
Not what I expected.
So I tried to repair it, make it more manageable, but still it's about memorization.
Yeah, I can see that. That's kind of how Quickman was too. Oh, these are. Like
Also on easy, the laser have a slighter longer delay before they fire.
I'm noticing that.
Like on normal, the beam is fired much earlier. Here the beam on the bottom right has a block in front of it, so... Here you have much more space to dodge the laser. Oh god.
Yeah, good job on that.
The gray blocks are throwing me off more than they're helping me right now.
I like Elise got some like unique ideas going. Great beam. They actually like bounce.
Did you fight this boss before?
Have I?
Yeah,
Never played this game before.
because you're doing a pretty good job.
Nice.
The only thing I've seen, but it was years ago, was the speed run of the special extra mode in this game.
Oh yes, secret
The
character.
vial mode. That's the way of putting it. And even then, I kind of clicked off of it because I planned on playing this game. This, of course, was several years ago. But yeah, I remember being young and looking forward to this game, and I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I want to play this game as well. Maybe one day we'll do a proper full playthrough of this.
I think it's a good move to play it on easy now, because otherwise you would do a lot of restarting, and you don't really mind when you're playing on your own, but when you're playing for an audience, maybe they want to see more content, like they don't want to see the same thing again and again. I saw a question. What do you think of the upcoming live-action Megaman movie and the fan movie? Not sure what you're talking about.
So apparently it was announced not that long ago that Capcom is working with, I think it was Fox or some movie company. They're gonna make a live-action Megaman film.
Personally, I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, right.
Hey, good job, you made it.
Hey, awesome.
That's
Both full health. You don't have his weakness.
I just hope for this movie, I hope Capcom like works with them on it, kind of like Pokemon did with Detective Pikachu. But if it's gonna be anything like Sega in the Sonic movie, we're in trouble.
Well, personally, I don't really like I don't really like movies based on games. I think it's a pretty bad idea, and they've never really been good. So, yeah.
If it's like a cartoon or an anime, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, that, but if it's live action,
Yeah, it's a
You're gonna
bit
wanna
hard
have,
to-
like, they were gonna wanna push the actor and
Let's exit.
like for the Sonic movie, like why is there some human guy having Sonic hidden in his bag that like
right?
but that's not
Kind of
Sonic,
reminds
it's
me
just
of
a stupid
Sonic
Hollywood
X to an
comedy.
extent. What am I doing?
What?
Kind of reminds me of Sonic X. You know how there was the kid's family and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's just trying to have like, because an actor is playing the part, so you have to show his face, you have to give him opportunities to act when because he's not gonna be like simply a voice actor. I don't know, they have to. The actor like wants to be famous. He wants his face to be seen.
And he has to be seen next to that.
And then now people have complained enough that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna change the design now. Why did you just do it to begin with? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't think that changing the design is gonna fix all the other problems.
Yeah, it's still gonna be weird, probably.
Still gonna be Hollywood trying to change the franchise because they think it doesn't fit the viewing audience.
That's a bit silly, but... at least apparently they're gonna try again at the whole Super movie, but this time they're gonna make it animated, which, thank God.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, dude, if they just make it animated, it would work a lot better.
Yeah,
I
like
am
if it-
kind of wishing I could switch weapons during cutscene or screen transitions.
Yeah, I should figure out how to do that. I remember we had a bug. If you press the weapon switch button just before a screen transition, it would like switch through all the different weapons at every frame during the transition. So it was kind of like a weapon roulette.
It's actually pretty cool.
It would like flash through all the weapons super fast. Weapon roulette, that reminds me of Snupster episodes we do. Like, do you know the Snupsters?
Yeah, you told me about them before.
Yeah, so like, we do these crazy challenges, and one of them is weapon roulette. It's a race with 4 people, and every one of the 4 people starts with a random weapon from the 4 worst weapons in the game.
Oh wow!
Like for example, we play Megaman 6, and the weapons are like Windstorm. What were the other ones? Not necessarily the worst weapons, but Windstorm, Night Crush, Flame Blast. That weapon is pretty OP. But basically, we have 4 weapons and we assign them randomly to the 4-player, and they have to use that weapon only during the whole game, and they have infinite energy of it.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask if it's like Megaman make the special weapon your main weapon. You have infinite ammo.
Like we use Game Genie codes to have like infinite weapon ammo. Like for example, one of the guys was stuck like playing through Mega Man 4 with just the skull barrier.
Oh, you're so close.
I'm reacting really late. It's frustrating me.
Yeah, I don't think there's a charge shot in this game, right?
Yes, there is. You can turn it on. I added it later.
Is it like in options, or is it like an upgrade you have to buy?
No, it's in the options on the stage select screen. You can
Yeah, there's
change
something
it.
called Buster Mode.
That's cool.
If you have the weakness here, you can make him come out of the clouds faster.
Oh, I see.
Like you shoot the clouds with the weakness and the clouds disappear. Yeah, you got it. You got the pattern down.
Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
I react
charge,
fast
though.
enough.
There you go.
Playing like cheats.
What's your least favorite Mega Man game?
X7.
Oh, well, yeah. That's a given. Yeah, X7, I remember being so disappointed in that. That and Devil May Cry 2. They came out at roughly the same time, and that disappointed me so much. I was.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
kind of the reason why I'm cynical about game trailers nowadays. I was scarred as a young gamer.
That must have been a very dark time.
I had the soundtrack before the game came out for X7. I was so hyped for that game, and then
Yeah. I remember hearing that from other people too. They really like the soundtrack, and then you get the game, it's like, oh.
it's boring and it's glitchy. It's just so, I don't know. It's just so disappointing. Yes, I like Mega Man X8.
Yeah.
I replayed it, the Legacy Collection, and you can see that they put a lot of love into it. They cared about it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And LD Destroyer says 10 is frustrating for him. Mega Man 10.
I think 9 is more frustrating, if anything.
I don't know.
What?
Nine
God's
is-
name.
Whoa, that's new to me.
Oh, the glue floor or the sticky enemy.
That's awesome.
It's like a Tuesday night. Floor's white, everything's white.
Wow. And the background doesn't help either.
Well, yeah, the glue floor, you have to jump, you can't run on it.
Huh. That's interesting. Reminds me of Donkey Kong Country 2, the honey levels.
I want to hit
I
the
never
guy
played that game.
below with a bounded shot.
You
Damn.
can, if you stay on the platform underneath the ladder, it will automatically, like, it will be placed exactly to hit the other enemy.
Let's see. Thomas asks, "What do you think of Mega Man the
You mean Wily Wars?
Yes.
You cut off.
Oh, it's the Wally one.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
In the Snapsters, we play the Wily Wars turn-based.
Wow.
Essentially, the four runners have to play. They have each their turn to play the game, and every time they get hit or every time they destroy an enemy, they have to let go of the controller. And it's another person's turn after that. So you have to really think before you destroy an enemy or you get hit. And I've played a lot of it because of that challenge, and it's different from the NES games. Like, the physics are different.
Right.
But if you ignore that, it's pretty cool.
I heard platypus.
Oh my gosh. The platypus.
That's one of the ideas from my best friend. I was like, what kind of mini boss would you do? And like, we've always liked that the Mega Man sometimes has ridiculous designs, like
The cat from Mega Man 3.
Yeah, or those chickens from Mega Man 5 that
The burning rooster.
spawn the walking eggs.
Yeah. The rooster from Mega Man 11.
So we came up with this platypus idea, and I just said, "All right, I'm gonna do it."
Oh,
That's awesome. I like it.
Ceiling.
Yeah, the conveyor belt of the ceiling is sticky. Platypus Maverick.
There was Duck Phil Mole and Professor Godeel,
Oh yeah.
technically.
Africa Man Mission really has some interesting ideas that it's gonna make it to the rest of the X series.
Hey, that's true, Arc Lovers. Tango is in this game. He's in the ending. He's in the ending cutscene. He's not inside the game, but he's in the story part.
He's there in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nitro Blast is pretty useful.
What's your favorite Mega Man game overall?
Over what?
Overall.
What's your
Overall, okay. Oh boy. Recently I've been debating if it's Mega Man 4 or Mega Man 11. But Mega Man 11, I don't know, it just lacks, it really lacks an additional Wily stage.
What makes you like
I-
Mega Man 4 so much?
Oh, it's really the first one that I liked in the series that made me into a fan. It's mostly, well, a nostalgia thing, maybe. It's just the one that made me enjoy like challenge in a video game. Like I was having a lot of trouble like improving my skills back then, and that's just the first game that I figured out how to conquer like on my own.
Gotcha.
And I just like the designs of the masters and the music. And it's hard to explain actually why I like that one. I think it's better designed than 1, 2, 3 personally.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And it introduced a bunch of different things, and it's a longer game too.
Yeah, can't forget the chart shot.
Like it added the charge shot, it added the eddy, it added like a second Wily castle. It added like alternate paths and secrets.
All things that I wish 11 had more of.
I wish it had more Wily stage music.
That too.
Yeah.
It just need more stages in general.
I think I have a feeling that 11 like they ran out of time or something.
It does feel like that when you get to the end. It's like the last 2 stages are like throwaway. It looks like it starts out like, oh, this looks like a stage, and then all of a sudden it's either wild or
You know the second boss of the Wily Castle, the one that's like the sphere.
Yeah.
In the descriptions of that boss in the menus, it says that originally wanted to have 2 of them, but because he lacked time and budget, he combined them into one. And I read that, I'm like, dude, are they trying to tell me they ran out of time? Because that felt like that.
It really makes you wonder if the developers were just telling us what happened in development.
That just, I was like, that's what they're trying to tell us. Because it did feel like there was supposed to be a third wily stage, but instead they just made the rematch and then we're off to the final stage.
It's really weird, yeah.
But I mean, it's nice because the stages are long, so you still have the first stage that are pretty long and hard to master.
Right.
But overall, it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, it's like quality over quantity at the end of the day. The levels that are there are pretty well designed.
Yeah.
You could argue that bouncement isn't so much, but I don't mind it personally.
And the weapons each have their uses. So, yeah. In the end, it's okay. It's just if they would have like maybe an extra month, they could have made a new stage or something.
It's weird because you know the final stage, but then you realize it's not. It just drops you off to the boss. I wonder if that was supposed to be the third stage.
Yeah, that was weird. Like if you're gonna just drop me in front of the boss room, why not just
like,
cut the stage before it? Maybe they wanted you to feel the pain when you get a game over. You have to wait a bit longer before you try the boss again.
I don't know, but it just makes me wonder why make us go through all that if all there is just a fight with Wily.
Yeah, to hear the awesome music.
You're right. Except we heard it the same music for the last 3 stages too.
I never get tired of that. You have the weakness of this guy.
Not that. Oh gosh, glue.
Ah! Looking like a teenage gym sock.
He does twice the damage on normal.
Oh wow.
Well, he found the weakness. He basically runs into the yo-yos by himself. You really don't have to aim that much.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Megaman Unlimited and Megaman Maker. I'd be down for it.
I've talked a little bit to Wrecking Programs about including some assets from Unlimited and Megaman Maker, but basically he wants to go through the official stuff first and then see if
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
gonna add the fan game stuff.
He's working on adding 10 stuff for now, right?
I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I think he has the pointer enemy.
Oh yeah, the mascot, the pointer.
What? Point 10?
Yeah.
It's midnight.
Yes, it is.
Past midnight.
It sure is.
And I only got through 5 bosses.
It's not terrible.
On easy.
Uneasy.
It's more like normal.
Oh, I got through 5. I think I'll do one more and then move on to, what's it called? Advent?
ZX Advent.
Yeah, Advent. Oh nice, salute. We salute you, Tigman.
A fun fact, I changed the side of the hand he uses to salute.
Nazi reference?
Because someone commented that he was using the wrong. So I changed it.
What do you think of them removing the general salute from an X4's opening in the Legacy Collection?
That sucks actually. I hate when they do these changes. They also change the brightness so that you don't get like epilepsy problems.
I know, it's so weird. They butchered it so much. You can even tell how they replaced the salute. They just slowed down the footage of Masters.
Yeah,
It's so noticeable.
they slowed it down so that they make up for the last time.
Right.
That's weird.
Doesn't even match the song anymore.
Yet they don't fix the typos in X6's text.
They changed the Robot Master names in the 5, but they won't do the other things we've been
I
asking.
hid myself while I tried to repair myself. There is no one else to fight. There is. What does he say? He says like there is no one else to fight. X at the beginning. Zero says something.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're the only one or something.
There is nobody else to fight else or something. I don't remember what he said.
It is funny when you think about what they did change and what didn't change.
They should have. The biggest things for me is removing Alia's interruptions in X5. I wish they would have
Yeah.
something for
That game would be a lot more playable for repeat playthroughs if they at least gave us an option to turn it off.
And there is a hack that changes it. There's a patch that you can apply to the game to fix that.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's doable, they just don't want to do it, I guess.
And I don't like the excuse that it's just to preserve the original.
I mean, they changed those. I mean, the reason why they changed those X5 names is also because they want to preserve the original tins or something.
Preserve the fact that somebody's life was dedicated enough to do that in memoriam.
Yeah.
At least that's how I look at it.
I actually don't mind the Guns N' Roses, but
I like Guns N' Roses.
I know.
I prefer the original. the Japanese names, I mean.
His name is Tough McWhalen.
That
Anyways,
sounds
what
so
happened to
stupid.
Sapphire? Thought she was gonna come back after she was done having a seizure.
Oh, man.
Tough McWhalen!
The tiny little E-tank.
X4 is my favorite. X. It's just, it's almost perfect, in my opinion.
It's kind of like 11 in a way. It's almost
finishes
perfect,
too
but
quick.
the end game just ends too quickly.
Yeah, it feels like the more they progress through the X game, the more they seem to cut on the final stages.
Yeah, like X7 only has 2 stages. It's crazy.
X8
Granted, it's the last
also pretty short
Mm-hmm.
once you get to the final stages.
Oh, X6 also only has 2 final stages.
Like, I'm telling you, the further we get in the X series,
Agree.
the shorter the final stages get.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would like about X9 if they make one, is to have more final stages.
Yeah, I hope that they make Megaman 12. They just like go all out with crazy ideas, make it more. Now that they got an engine up and working.
That's not a weakness.
Rush Jet, use Rush Jet.
I'm pretty sure one of the reasons they may have ran out, they spent most of it making that new look for Mega Man and the rest of the game.
Yeah, designing. I think they wanted to get they wanted to get everything right, even if it meant less stuff to get right.
Yeah, that's why I feel like 11 is just the beginning of a new line of game.
And I like that the one proof of that is that they didn't do Proto Man or Base.
Yeah, that's also a noticeable
They just wanted to get the essentials right.
Right. They want to get the gameplay side, the graphics right.
I love the graphics of 11, except the running animation.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that needs to be worked on.
It looks like he's having trouble supporting the weight of his head. You have the weakness for him.
You're right, it's my willpower.
Get it?
What actually was it? Because I thought I hit him with everything I had.
Maybe you didn't have enough energy for the shield.
Wait, it actually is Nail Shield?
Yeah.
I ran into him with it and it did like 1.
Huh.
Really?
You should try firing it.
It was right next to me, why would I fire it?
Maybe he was invincible. Yeah, he had the iframes when you did it. I have plenty of ideas for an X9. Like, I have ideas for armor parts and what they do and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's
there
gonna
was a
happen
question.
sooner. X Corrupted or X9.
Oh god, that's a really good question.
And then the guys say if X9 is announced, he's gonna cancel Corrupted.
Oh really?
Yeah, I heard something like that before.
I'd say I don't know. Maybe X9 would happen first.
Maybe. It really feels like it. Now's the time for an X9.
Like, they seem like they're on a good momentum with the Megaman stuff these days.
Mm-hmm.
So if it happens, it would make sense.
But
If it happens, though, I will flip out. It's gonna be
great. Like, yeah, they released the X Legacy collection, right? And it's doing really well, so I'm pretty sure they're probably thinking about X9. At the very least.
And they could just do a sort of thing like 11. It could be generic enough to fit anywhere in the timeline. You know, they could do it.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure, man.
Alright, let me make sure I got everything set up here.
Yeah, that was Megaman Unlimited, everybody. I want to thank MegaPhilX for coming on to talk to us about the game. It was really fun.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Anytime.
I'm gonna go to bed soon, so...
Okay.
Well, thank you for having me, and I just want to say, if you want to check out the updates for my various projects, you can follow me on Twitter at MegaPhilX, or follow my Facebook page for Megaman Unlimited. And I'm also featuring lots of the Snupsters episodes, so snupster.com. We do a lot of different crazy Mega Man challenges or other retro game challenges. So we have a YouTube channel, Snupsters on YouTube. So check it out. And well, thanks again for having me here. Hope you enjoyed the game.
I did. I had fun.
And hope you can continue the playthrough at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to continue it another work something out, have you on again, maybe.
Sure.
Fun. Yeah.
So happy final hour of the marathon, and see you guys next time.
Alright, thanks,
See you
man.
around. You're always welcome to loiter.
Yep.
Well, thanks again for having me. So happy Advent.
Yeah, we're gonna close things off after with this game.
Alright guys, thanks for being here.
Alright, see ya. Have a good night.
Later.